All right. President Roosevelt proclaimed the bankruptcy of the United States. Every 14th Amendment citizen of the United States was pledged as an asset to finance the Chapter 11 reorganization expenses and pay interest in perpetuity for the creditors, Federal Reserve bankers, and the national debt, which shall not be questioned. On March 9th, 1933, Congress passed the Amendatory Act, also known as the Emergency Banking Relief Act, to the Trading with the Enemy Act. Read that again. On March 9th, 1933, Congress passed the Amendatory Act, also known as the Emergency Banking Relief Act, to the Trading with the Enemy Act, originally passed on October 6, 1917, at a time when the United States was not in a shooting war with any foreign foe, and included the people of the United States as the enemy. I gotta pause for effect, man, because, see, this is the shit that they're not teaching y'all. You know the ones I'm talking about, with your chest all poked out, because I got me a college degree. I mean, listen, I'm not knocking that. I'm really not knocking that at all. But at the end of the day, man, you got to understand who's teaching you. It's the same motherfucker the same people that fucked our ancestors around. Had them praying and being passive, waiting on Jesus, while they was getting, raped, fucked around. That's when they introduced homosexuality to us. They call it buck breaking. Look that up. That's not a part of our culture. That wasn't our way. That come from them, because they ate the women when they couldn't get food. They ate the women, which left nothing but men, and they start fucking each other in the ass. Look it up. Understand why people want to be like them. But anyway, okay. At the Conference of Governors held on March 6, 1933, the governors of the 48 states of the Union accommodated the federal bankruptcy of the United States Corporation by pledging the faith and credit of their state to the aid of the national government. Faith and credit. Full faith and credit. See, I got documents. See, when you, I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't want. See, it's just like this is. I look at this just like and I'm an infant in this thing, in this knowledge thing. You know what I mean? But to those that have never been privy to this information, this is like titty milk. I can't jump ahead of this and get into the solid foods. I got to give you the titty milk first. You understand what I'm saying? Figuratively. All right. Senate document 43 of the 73rd Congress, first session, 1933, did declare the ownership of all property is in the state. Senate document, again, 43 of the 73rd Congress, first session, in 1933, did declare that ownership of all property is in the state. They took it out of the hands of the people. An individual's so-called ownership is only by virtue of government, i.e., law amounting to mere user only. An individual use of all property is subordinate to the necessities of the United States government. Eminent domain sound familiar? Just like on Life. Does Spanky Johnson ring a bell? Yeah, does eminent domain ring a bell? Come on, man. We ain't been alive long enough to know all this shit. You got to do some fucking reading. And pardon my passion, but like, man, this shit's serious, man. You know what I mean? We got to start paying attention to the shit that matter, man. You know what I mean? This shit matters, man. You need to know this shit, so at least you know how you need to start navigating. If you don't know your past, then you don't know how you need to really be operating in your present to get to the future that you really need to be trying to, in the process of pushing to, voting for these motherfuckers that's doing this sucker shit. Motherfuckers don't even know what they voting for, man. You know what I mean? This shit's crazy, man. All right, here we go. Under House Joint Resolution 192, I spoke of this before too, of June 5th, 1933, Senate Report number 93549, and Executive Orders 6072, 6012, and 6246. The Congress and President Roosevelt officially declared bankruptcy of the United States government. Now, when you look up House Joint Resolution 192, it'll basically tell you that under that resolution, the American people had no substance of money to pay bills with. So if you ever heard somebody say, the more you use these Federal Reserve notes, the more you add on to the debt, that's how. Regardless of the cause or reason, what many Americans either do not understand and or have failed to seriously grasp is that by the use of Federal Reserve notes, which is not constitutional money defined under Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution, the people of the United States since 1933 have not had any constitutionally lawful way to pay their debts. They therefore have not had any way to buy or own property. Now you getting it? Can you hear me now? Okay, I hope so, man. The people, for the benefit granted to them by a bankrupt corporate government, discharge their debts with limited liability using Federal Reserve notes. They have surrendered, by way of an unconscionable contract, their individual rights under the Constitution in exchange for mere privileges. This is getting into how somebody that didn't put in their stroke for your child or your children get to come and tell you. It's going to get deeper, y'all. It's really going to get deeper because it's going to get into exactly how they're able to come and tell you what you're going to do or what you're not going to do, or we're going to take this child and lock your ass up. Bear with me, man. I told you, man, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you raw. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to give it to you raw. A review, matter of fact, give me a... see, I ain't really... Yeah, give me a second, man. I'm going to go and get me something to sip.